Like that doesn't
mean all spread
Kyler
quarterbacks
going to be good,
because he was a dynamic athlete in a dynamic offense that was suited to his skill set.
So that's what I'm saying.
His
is
arm
like
talent
is like can't we find like a happy ground of like
no
Kyler Murray going somewhere in the middle of the first round and being successful rather than him being a top 5 pick, getting all these shoulders of expectations and probably flopping out.
No. There's a lot of cats who it's about where you go. It's a lot of cats.
It's
like
developing.
Dante Fowler wasn't a bust, but I think he should have never went to Jacksonville. I think if he'd been a 4-3 defensive end, we would have saw something different from him by now. Let's say he got traded to the Vikings and he had to just play 4-3 defensive end. You telling me he ain't going to be good?
They were a 4-3 defense when he got drafted under Gus Bradley.
He had 8 sacks. He's not like he was a bust, but I'm saying in the right system, like, okay, they kept trying to make Jadeveon Clowney a linebacker,
The biggest thing with Fowler and the biggest thing with different guys, and
Clowney is a perfect
still listed
4-3
as a linebacker.
But he's a 4-3 defensive end.
But anyways, what I'm saying is
JJ Watt really is a defensive tackle, but he's just athletic enough to play defensive end.
What I'm saying though is like, and I think what you're alluding to as well is you got to draft somebody with like an actual plan in mind.
How you're going to get the best out of them.
How you're going to develop them, what they can do, and what they can do in your scheme specifically. But I think the problem with that, the NFL is such a short-term attention deficit league. It's like, even if you did make a plan, oftentimes you're not going to see it out. Because unless you win immediately,
coaches get fired.
And so that puts pressure on you to overinvest in these young talents and force them to develop instead of, letting things naturally work themselves out.
I think a lot of quarterbacks in this class you're going to see some of them fall.
And we see that in the NBA too. I mean, we see that pretty much in
it's mad NBA cats who are good and they just go to the wrong situation and it takes forever for them in the league. Like, what's his face? Everyone.
But you can make the same comparison to just your first internship, your first job. It's like you fall into a bad situation where you don't have support, or it's a role that you can't you have to adapt to,
which actually
but it just takes more time. Growth. It just takes more time.
Yeah, and sometimes adapting to that role stunts your growth, and then people, well, why can't you do this? Because I'm not successful in this role and how you're using me. You could have got somebody less talented to do this, or you could have got somebody who's talented in this and doing this, and have me go do something else. So a lot of times people just like to force a square peg in a round hole. You got to understand, okay, if I want them to be a part of my team, what do they do that will heighten the success of the team?
The difference in that scenario, like at the everyday level between the NFL,
it's usually a personality clash.
No, the difference is the NFL, like when it happens to you, you at least agree to it. You have some kind of conscious, like, okay, I'm going to try to adapt to this role, or I'm going to try to make the best of this situation, or I need this job, or whatever you're thinking is going into it. Versus the NFL, like, you don't have that say.
You get drafted and
you're stuck there.
Yeah.
Unless you're Kyler Murray and you can go to the MLB and say, fuck
it. But I mean, shout out to Bryce Harper getting a 13-year, $330 million.
Okay, I'm going to need you to just stop shouting out baseball stuff randomly.
What? We're a multi-sports podcast. We just choose baseball.
Debatable.
I mean, never mind. I'm not. I'll tell you off the air. But anyway, yeah, like Tyree Jackson, quarterback out of Buffalo, measured in the tallest at 6'7", 249, and I had I think the biggest hands, or if not, like the second or third. That's a cat who will do well by throwing, and if he tests well athletically. So it's kind of just like, it's smart for Kyler not to throw, honestly. I mean, Haskins is already seen as the best quarterback in the draft. He's like 6'3". So if Haskins runs a bad 40, it'll hurt his time. Or if he doesn't run at all. But Murray, it's the thing, like, he's athletic.
Let me ask you this. What makes Haskins not Geno Smith?
Because he actually ran.
You had to think about that.
Because I knew that question was coming. I knew it. Like a black quarterback who's somewhat mobile and has a really great arm talent. He's not Geno Smith.
In 1 year of success?
First off, you're being disrespectful. Dwayne Haskins had gone to West Virginia, he would have thrown 89 touchdowns. Because West Virginia, their offense is just
gimmicky. Shout out to Pat White.
Dana Holgorsen, who I think left West Virginia, and I forget where he's head coach at now.
Man, I wanted Steve Slayton to make it so bad.
Me too. Houston killed a lot of careers because he was nice.
I feel like Slayton Houston is that place where good college running backs go to die.
I mean,
I feel like they just kill them all on scout team or something.
Lamar Miller, the Texas running back who ran for 2,000 yards, Deonta Foreman.
Yep.
Yeah, I still don't know how Lamar Miller had that 98-yard touchdown run.
I didn't even know Alfred Blue was still in the league.
And he's like the all-time leading rusher in Texans history for touchdowns, I think.
What?
I don't know how the fuck that happened. He's up there. Like, Alfred Brew is up there in all-time touchdowns. I was like, how? When did this happen? But, yeah. But, I mean, I look at the Combine, and really, everything is a chance for you to make money, but it depends on the type of prospect you are. Like, DK Metcalf has to have a great medical examination and really just needs to run somewhere between like no slower than like a 4.52. If he runs no slower than like a 4.52, probably going to be a first-round draft pick and just, catches well.
Bro, it seems like I ask you this every year. Like, this is like the third or fourth year I ask you this.
Go for it.
How is Ole Miss so trash? Like, I don't get it.
They get elite talent, man. Ole Miss has always been putting out receivers. Don't sleep on. They were always putting out receivers. Greg Little is really athletic, but he might end up being like Greg Robinson. He has that potential to be like Greg Robinson.
Wasn't there a receiver called Greg Little?
Greg Little went to North Carolina. He ran like a 4.6. Played quarterback, running back, receiver. He's back in the league. He got signed.
What?
He was like out of the league.
Wasn't he on the Raiders for a little bit?
He was out of the league for like 2 years, and now he's back. But I don't think he plays for the Browns. I forget what team he plays for. But it's just like, man, no, just gross.
Yeah, Metcalf, you probably know him from social media.
Baby T.O.
He's the big yoked dude. He's weighed in at one point. He weighed in
6'3", 228 with 1.6% body fat. And Damian Woody said, "Don't worry, I got the other."
Some avocado toast eating white girl reporter tweeted that Metcalf is literally less body fat percentage than the avocado I just ate, which is probably true.
Definitely true. Yeah, man. Physical. That's why, like, some of the verbiage and terminology is really weird.
Yeah, Jim Rome does a segment every year where he takes quotes from draft analysts and plays them and like repeats them with like porn sounds in the background, and it's like hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a mix between like something really homoerotic and like a really bad slave narrative piece.
It's like, yeah, it's
gross.
Like it's some rum burgundy shit.
I'm not gonna miss Mike Mayock saying bubble butt. Like, I feel like if you say another man has a bubble butt in the context of like watching him work out at the NFL Combine, and you're some scrawny little white dude who was a trash corner who ended up playing safety.
Which, by the way, he should still be wearing a suit because he does not fill out a polo. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
we should be shitting on the analysts.
That skinny. Like,
we should shit on analysts who like are out there. I watch all this film and this tape, and I can tell you, like, oh, he's a bubble butt. He has thick thighs. Dog, let's talk about you. You look like fucking Gumby on crack.
I didn't even realize that Mayock was that skinny until this year because he doesn't look that skinny on TV when he's in a suit. But now that I've been seeing him,
that makeup cake, I always knew.
Now I've been seeing him on
Smack Cats on TV were scrawny and small. I know. If I walk up on some of them,
all the ESPN, NBA reporters,
a lot of people.
But yeah, that's besides.
We're not going to slander people in the media who are total tools. And, like, if they didn't have the money, they'd be lames. And I'm pretty sure I could convince them to like buy an escort like in the jungle somewhere by doing
which we're gonna get to later. Because
I'll save that.
Rams great ED has something to say for everyone talking shit about
Robert Kraft in the sex ring and buying the services of women in a nasty ass Florida strip mall.
But yeah, we'll get to that. Any other people you want to shout out? I wanted to shout out Devin Singletary because he had a really great quote from the Combine. The Florida Atlantic alumni who finished his season with 4,000 rushing yards and 66 touchdowns. No,
he finished his career.
Yeah.
He was like a redshirt junior, I think.
All right. But yeah, so pretty much they asked him about his height, if he thought it'd be a detriment.
Was he 5'9"?
Yeah, he came in at 5'8". And he's like, I'm literally the same size as Barry Sanders. And then, like, the whole media was just like, oh, shit, he is. Like, they're like, oh, yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, he is. And they're like, oh. And so then from there, the questions kind of turned into like, oh.
What's your 40? What do you think
have you talked to Barry Sanders? And blah, blah, blah. Like, he's like, no, but I've looked up to him because, again, he's literally the same size as me.
Can we just talk about how like there really are a lot of stupid people out there who don't deserve some of these journalism jobs?
We'll get to that later.
That's the dumbest fucking question.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But yeah, there's a lot of stupid ass questions that go on in the media. I think it's because like
it's lazy.
I think it's lazy.
I've never like
it's lazy, yes, but it's more than just being lazy. It's
not being able to think on your own feet.
It's that, but it's a step further than no. This is what it is.
I'm venting my frustrations, but go ahead, keep going.
It's the fact that once you gain that access,
you get lazy, complacent.
Besides getting lazy, besides getting complacent, those definitely factor into it. You don't want to challenge the status quo. You don't want to sound stupid. You don't want to look bad. And so they're so concentrated on being on the inside and gaining respect from people who are on the inside, both at the organizational level as well as people that they're working with, that they don't think outside the box. One,
do a little bit more research.
And two, they don't think like people. They're thinking like
sheep.
They're thinking like sheep, yes, but more so
they think like the team's PR publicist.
No, more so.
More
so, they think like how they think they should think. If that makes sense.
So compared to somebody who actually played the game and can ask film questions and all types of questions all day, they think like a question that person would ask.
Exactly. They ask questions that they think they should ask. They ask stuff that they think sounds smart.
So they
But then when you really think about it, it's not because
it's stupid.
Because they're so focused and so tuned into the inside, which is part of the job because, I mean, essentially the job is to disseminate information distributed across.
Disseminate. You said decimate.
Yeah, whatever. Disseminate.
No, words matter.
Whatever, yeah, my bad.
Pronunciation.
Are you done? You've been real petty this episode. Are you good? It's because we listened to 808 and Heartbreaks before we came in.
I told you I hate Coldest Winter. And I hate All Along by Kid Cudi. I don't like those songs.
Anyways.
See on My Nightmares is fire, though. By the way, Jay-Z owes T-Pain
Shout out to T-Pain, yeah. Shout out to
Jay-Z owes T-Pain an apology. Beyonce, too, and I'm really tired of everybody just acting like T-Pain isn't owed apologies from a lot of people. Because y'all said he killed auto-tune when half of y'all, your favorite artists can't sing without auto-tune. Just saying. T-Pain sings better than Beyonce. There, I said it. Fight me. Acapella. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, he really is a great acapella singer.
You don't want the smoke.
I didn't even know that until like 5 years ago when
10 years ago.
My bro Ryan showed me a video of him singing everything acapella.
I remember when
Buy You a Drink, like all that, like all those hits he sang, and he like literally sang it better than autotune.
Yeah. Like that's why there's certain disrespect that happens between artists like T-Pain, Lupe Fiasco, and Chris Brown that I'm really tired of seeing.
It's kind of like us. It's like people think that because we don't do like a hot take show that we can't do a hot take show. And now like slowly the whole industry is going towards like a bunch of sport-ish podcasts and like 80% sports podcasts cool. When like we've literally been doing this for like 5 years now. But yeah. Whatever.
Again,
10 a.m. in Culver City freestyle. Yeah, but back to the journalist, man. I think it's just
12 p.m.